Alright guys, welcome back. So in my last video I showed you how I came across this combination that works effectively on this Shelby GT500. Now in this video I'm going to be going over common issues that you can be running across while you're paint correcting the vehicle, such as hazing and micro marring, so webbing, or what seems to be micro scratches. So we'll go over a couple of details here and a couple of things to keep in mind. One of the things you can run across here is microfiber towels. So that if the microfiber towel is too coarse, you might be causing micro scratches onto the paint, so it could be damaging the paint that way. So you're polishing, you polish the paint successfully, you do a clean pass and everything works out well, but you come and clean the polish with a coarse microfiber towel such as this one, and you could be leaving tiny scratches behind. So when you put the light to it, it looks like haze, or it looks like beams of light that are running across the paint, and that's because of the coarseness of the microfiber. So I suggest you move on to something softer, higher GSM type of microfiber towel, such as this one. I'll leave a link below to some of the microfiber towels that I think you should use on soft paint. That will make it easier for you. Another thing that you can run into is having dirty pads. Now, you have to clean the pads once every couple of passes. I do it usually once every pass. So I do a pass and then I come and clean out the pad with an air compressor or compressed air, or with a microfiber. You can clean it with a microfiber, or you can use a brush and clean the pad out. All you want to do is remove all this buildup that you have in the pad. All of this buildup shouldn't be going back into the paint or into your new panel. So what you want to do is just clean it out. Working clean. Another issue that you can run into is heating up the panel. So if you do too many passes and you heat up the panel too much, you're gonna be running into issues of heat. So if you run one of these microfiber towels on a hot, soft paint panel, you're gonna be causing scratches no matter what. The panel hasn't had time to regress into its normal and usual shape. So when you come across with this, you come and scratch it all up, and then when it returns to its cool state, it's gonna have all these marks on it. And it works the same way with the pads. So if you use something too aggressive on there and the panel is hot, you're likely to leave scratches behind in haze because the panel is just being overworked. So that's something to keep in mind that we don't usually think about. Another thing that should be kind of useful and helpful here for you to note is that if you're gonna get more aggressive, let's say like I did in this case, some scratches wouldn't come off with the black pad and the 3800. So I went up to a step up more aggressive. So once I went up to the more aggressive step, I caused a little bit of hazing. So I needed to step down in order to remove the hazing and the micro scratches. So I went back to the black pad. So I passed the yellow pad and then I passed the black pad in order to remove the haze and all the marring that I left behind. So these are things that you're constantly gonna have to keep in mind. Another thing that I didn't mention before when I mentioned the microfiber towels is you're gonna have to keep these clean. You don't want these all dense and covered up with paint and polish. You're gonna have to change them often. So you're gonna have to have at least 4 or 5 of these around you. And once you run 2, 3 of them and they're saturated, just throw them in the wash, clean them out and bring them back out, and then you can continue working on the paint. You should probably use polishes that have no fillers or silicones on them, because the removal process can be a lot harder. So when you start removing these polishes off the paint and they don't come off, you'll start putting more pressure. You'll start applying a stronger IPA in order to remove it, and you might just cross the scratching and it will just work against you the whole time. All right, so these are a couple of tips that I figured that would be useful for you to know. So if you have any questions at all, just leave them down below. As usual, if this video was informational or at the very least entertaining, hit that subscribe button, and until next time, peace.